Hi, my name is Stanley McCoy, and I'm a freshman here at Clemson, and I attended the new student dialogue Vulnerability and Gender Roles on October 2nd, 2013, and it was from 6 to 9 p.m., and I didn't really like that time window, but it was really all I had available, and I was really kind of going in there dreading the next 2 hours because I didn't know what to expect. And we go in there, and the first thing we did was we kind of did some icebreaker games, and they were actually like effective too. They weren't like it wasn't an original kind of icebreaker game. I really felt like I got to know the people in there, and the people who ran the dialogue actually did a really good job of that. Um, and then after that, we had to write down what we identify ourselves with in terms of our gender, where we're from, ethnicity, etc. And what I found out, the word that they enunciated was salient, and basically what salient means is like what is most important to you, like what you identify yourself with the most. And what I said, identified myself with the most was where I'm from, because I'm not originally from here, and it's definitely like a huge deal to me because there's so many people who are different from like how I think. So that made me think that, oh man, this is gonna be really bad. But I went in there and they actually like did a really good job of calming us down, and everyone got to speak at least once. Um, However, in certain parts of it, I felt like you were almost pressured to say like really really personal things, because there was like two or three people in there who said some really really personal stuff, and I guess I didn't really understand how I could say such personal things to a complete group of random strangers. Good thing is, though, I did say a few things, and I think the main reason why I did is because I knew a few people that were in that dialogue with me. So that's a good thing. But it made us think on a different level that I have never thought before, too. I definitely asked some questions that were um, but different. Like, for example, they they ask questions like, "Would you confide in a best friend over a group of random strangers?" And they asked that, and then they asked um, if we would prefer a certain thing over another, like if like all sorts of things. And I never thought like that, and it was actually like really quiet. Like they made us go really quiet, and they make us stand on one side of the room if we agreed with a certain point, and another side if we didn't. And it was actually like kind of powerful too, because like I thought of things and I never thought of them like that before. And then we had to go on, and then we kind of talked about each individual questions that most like popped out to us, and my group was actually really good at carrying on the conversation that I was with. They carried it on into places that like the question didn't even cover, um, and we definitely what we talked about most was like um, how like definitely like emotional states between a man versus a female, and we basically like talked about what qualifies a man as emotional and what a woman is like emotionally, and talked about a lot of things and how sometimes whenever the man isn't there, like maybe the man's dad dies or something, the woman has to step up emotionally and be there for her husband or her significant other or her brother or whatever. And we definitely talked about that because there was a lot of people in there who were going through some things. And we talked about how like they would prefer to confide in a female with certain things or confide in a male with another thing. Um, but sometimes, you just have to throw all the gender stereotypes out of the way and just you have to deal with it. Um, so that was definitely a good thing that we had to talk about. And we just like talked and talked and talked, and actually what the leaders of the thing said was that the dialogue that we had was actually one of the best that they had because everyone was participating, and it was a really really cool moment sometimes. But like I said, like before, that sometimes I felt pressured. I had to say like really really personal things, and I didn't really like that too much. But overall, I definitely have to say that dialogue is a good thing, but the one thing that really kind of stressed me out was just like the time length, because the 2 hours, it really felt like it was longer than 2 hours. And it got really old after a while, and I was definitely ready to leave. So that's just like the one thing I feel like needs to be fixed, is that maybe to cut it down 30 minutes or an hour, because that's really all you need. So that's just my personal opinion, but it was overall a relatively good experience, and it was definitely a lot better than I expected. So I believe that in the future, that this should continue to happen, because it definitely makes you think in a different way, makes you think that you can talk to other people, and that it's not a hard or pressuring thing in certain times. So that's it. Thank you.